Hello yoga friends, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today we'll be doing a 20-minute yoga practice to aid digestion. So if your stomach feels a little upset, or maybe you've eaten something that you know your body doesn't really agree with, this may be able to help that. Also, it is great for menstrual pain if you're experiencing that as well. We won't be needing any props today, and as always, I have linked a free playlist in the description box below if you care to listen to some music while you practice. So let's start in a wide knee child's pose here. Bringing feet together, knees about as wide as the mat. Let's exhale that forehead down to the mat. Arms nice and straight, or maybe bent out in front of us. Coming into this child's pose here, fluttering the eyes closed or taking a soft gaze and evening out the breath in and out through the nostrils. And we'll begin by setting an intention for our practice. Anything that comes to mind is wonderful. And if nothing comes to mind, you can always use this one. I release the need to judge myself negatively. I release the need to judge myself negatively. And whatever intention you chose for yourself, begin to inhale the energy from that beautiful intention in through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth, sigh, exhale out anything extra you may have brought onto your mat today. And let's take that one more time. Inhaling that intention in through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth, sigh, exhale out anything extra. And coming back to our even breath, knowing we can return to our intention throughout practice and perhaps throughout the rest of our day today. And we're going to stay here in our child's pose for about one more minute. Just breathing nice and evenly, noticing how the lower back expands as well as the belly when we inhale and contracts as we exhale. Sometimes just breathing evenly, deeply into our bellies and lower back can really help our digestion. And we'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. And on your next inhale, let's go ahead and walk our hands over to the right and exhale the forehead down to the mat. Stretching through that left side body, maybe getting a little deeper into the right hip here. And on your next inhale, let's walk those palms over to the left and exhale the forehead down to the mat, opening through the right side body. And on your next inhale, let's walk those palms back to center. Exhaling that forehead down. Let's stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, let's simply find our way onto our bellies here. With our palms directly under our shoulders and our elbows back by our sides. Next inhale, we're going to push through our hands, lifting our head and chest just off the mat for baby cobra. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And on our next exhale, we can lower everything back down to the mat. We're going to take that one more time. Inhaling up to baby cobra with 3 rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, gently lower everything down to the mat. Let's walk our fingertips just outside of the mat now, bringing our elbows toward the sky, tenting up on our fingertips. And next inhale, we're going to lift back up into that baby cobra by lifting our head and chest off the mat. And exhale, let's drop that right shoulder and right side of the face toward the mat here. Stay for 1 round of breath. And next inhale, inhale back up to that baby cobra. And exhale that left shoulder and left side of face to the mat. 1 round of breath. And inhale back up to baby cobra. Let's do that one more time. Exhaling that right shoulder and right side of face down to mat. 1 round of breath. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, left shoulder and left side of face to the mat. And inhale back up to center. Let's take 1 round of breath here. And on your next exhale, lower everything down to the mat. Let's bring our palms once more under our shoulders, and we're going to inhale, press back to a tabletop position, making sure the wrists are directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips. And inhale, drop the belly, look up to the sky for cow pose. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine, cat. We're going to take that 4 more times, inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. Really connecting body to breath here. Inhaling. Making sure shoulders are dropped. Exhale. And 2 more times. Inhale. And on our next inhale, we can find a neutral tabletop here. Let's flex both feet and gently press our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling through the feet here, generously bending the knees, making sure the feet are hip width distance or wider. Shoulders are down and back, neck is nice and released. Eyes of the elbows pointed towards the front of the mat and all 10 fingers spread wide. We're going to stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And on our next inhale, let's rise up to the balls of the feet and gently step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gently bend the knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time into a Tadasana mountain pose. Head is the last thing to come up. And let's face those palms towards the front of the mat. And inhale those arms overhead. Exhale, right hand to right hip, left arm overhead, reaching towards the right, stretching through the left side body, one round of breath. Inhale, back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, left hand to left hip, right arm overhead, reaching towards the left, stretching through the right side body, one round of breath. And inhale, back up to center, both arms overhead, and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath, maybe grabbing opposite elbows and taking a ragdoll, maybe even swaying from side to side. And wherever you are, let's drop those palms down to the mat, bringing the right palm to the center in between the feet. We're going to bend that right knee and inhale that left arm up to the sky for a twist. 2 more rounds of breath here. And on your next exhale, exhale that left palm to place that right on the mat, bending through the left knee this time and extending that right arm up in the air for a twist on the opposite side. And next exhale, you can lower that right arm back down to the mat, into that forward fold. Let's once more plant the palms on the mat and heel toe our feet just outside the edges of the mat, slightly turning our toes and knees out, making sure that our toes and knees keep in the same line. And we're going to exhale, bend both knees, sitting down into Malasana squat. If your heels are coming off the mat, just go back into your forward fold and walk your feet out a little bit wider here. Option to keep those palms on the mat or bring them to heart center here. We're going to stay here for 5 rounds of breath. This is a beautiful pose to release anything that's not serving us back into the earth, to be recycled for something better. And on your next inhale, if they're not there already, put your palms on the mat and let's straighten both knees, heel toeing our feet back into hip width distance, and that forward fold once more. Next inhale, let's find half lift, shoulders down and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms. Let's just step back into a tabletop position and gently find our way onto our bums with both legs stretched out in front of us for staff pose. Flexing both feet here. Let's inhale those arms overhead and exhale, fold over those legs. Reaching either to place your palms on your shins, maybe reaching the hands around the balls of the feet or the heels here, and releasing your head, neck, and shoulders. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, gently roll up 1 vertebrae at a time back into that staff pose, releasing the palms down by the hips on the mat. And then bending our knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the ground. Let's simply lower our backs onto the mat. Inhaling both knees into the chest. Let's place our arms out into a T and exhale those legs over to the right for supine twist. Making sure that the left shoulder remains in contact with the ground, an option to gaze over the left fingertips. Next inhale, let's inhale those legs up through center and exhale our legs over to the left, making sure that right shoulder remains in contact with the earth, an option to gaze over those right fingertips. And we can inhale those knees back into the chest, wrapping our palms around our shins. And let's grab the outer edges of the feet to find a happy baby here, bringing our knees toward our armpits. Maybe finding a gentle swaying motion from side to side if your body is feeling that today. And staying here for 2 more rounds of breath. And then gently releasing the knees back into the chest. Maybe lifting your shoulders and head off the mat. Rolling yourself up into a ball, giving yourself a nice little hug here before releasing into your Shavasana for the day. Maybe lowering your legs all the way out in front of you, bringing your arms by your sides, or maybe resting your hands on your stomach or heart, adjusting any clothing or hair that might be distracting, and coming back to that even breath. Allowing yourself to stop being a human doing and just be a human being. I will let you know when it's time to come out of your Shavasana, but for now, simply rest. are welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to close out class with me, begin to bring awareness back to your breath. Waking up the body, maybe by wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and ankles, maybe reaching the arms overhead and finding a nice good morning stretch. Finding any organic movement here to wake your body up. Before rolling onto one side for a fetal position, keeping the knees bent, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Taking a nice round of breath here. And on your next inhale, gently pressing your way up into Sukhasana, easy pose. Bringing your hands to heart center. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon on your mat. We'll close our practice with the sound of Om. Inhaling through the nose, deep into the belly. Om. And keeping your hands at heart center or bringing your thumbs to third eye. May the light and love in me recognize and honor the light and love in you. Namaste.